Today I don't feel like doing anything. I just wanna lay in my bed. Don't feel like picking up my phone, so leave a message at the tone. 'Cause today I swear I'm not too.
Is it day 8 already? Is it already the third week of this distance learning thing? Man, the time is flying. It only feels like it's been 100 years since we've been back in school. Am I right? Well, anyways, I wanted to congratulate you guys. Most people did really, really awesome on the test. I don't have an average yet because I haven't graded it yet, but all of the grades so far have been really good. I'm impressed with how you guys are learning, even in this really awful, horrible environment. So today we're going to go over a little bit of an linear equations and graphing review. I'm going to expect that you guys know this stuff going forward, but I haven't really told you yet. So I felt like today was a good day to kind of go over it because today's lesson is super easy. All right. So since you guys kind of already got the translation, rotation, reflection thing down, we're going to kind of move on to something that's a little bit further along in the curriculum. So the first thing we want to do is if we have a graph or a series of points, is we want to create them into a table. So when I have a series of points, let's say 0, 2, 3, 3, -1, -2. Okay. I don't know if this is going to be a line. I probably is not. But let's go ahead and try to plot the points anyways, right? So whenever I make a table like this, my x values always go on the left side and my y values always go on the right side. And what that means is the x value tells us how far to go left or right, depending on positive or negative. So in this case, we go over left or right 0, and then we go up to the 2 value right here. Now this may feel like review for a lot of you guys, but plotting points is super important in this class. All right, moving on. We have 3, 3, which would be 3 to the positive right direction, and then 3 up to this point right here. If you have 2 points, you have a line. So if you are plotting a line, just plot 2 points. Don't plot 3 points, or you're going to mess yourself up, like Mr. Target is about to do here, right? So my next point would be -1, -2, which would be right here. As you can see, these 2 points make a line, these 2 points make a line, and these 2 points make a line. But there's no way I can put all 3 points on that line, which means there's not an equation for this. There would be an equation if we just took out this bottom point and Mr. Carter tried a little bit harder. So 0, 2 is at the same spot. It's 0 over and 2 up. 3, 3 would also be at the same spot, right there. But now we need to go up or down by the same amount. So between 0 and 3, we went up 1 whole point. So that means between -3 and 0, we should go down 1 point. So -3, 1 would be another point on this graph. Right there. And you can see how, if this were perfectly accurate, they make a line, right? So now to write this equation, what we're going to do is we're going to plug it into a formula. Our formula for linear equations is y equals ax times x, plus the y-intercept. Let's call it y-intercept. We have different letters for this. Let's not call this guy A. Let's call him M, because what's really going in front of the x is the slope, or how fast it's changing. Remember, to find the slope, we do how far it goes up or down, right? It goes on top, right? It's going up 1 from 2 to 3 here. And then how far it goes over goes on the bottom. So if it's going from 0 to 3, that is a difference of 1/3. 1/3 is our slope, because you can see it goes up 1 and over 3. So instead of this m right here, I'm going to write a 1/3 x. Our y-intercept in this case is wherever it crosses the big vertical line down the middle. And in this case, that's also where it is x equals 0. So in this case, our y-intercept is 2. And we've written this linear equation from the graph and from the table. Now let's go the other direction, because that was so much fun the first time. So if we have an equation and we want to go to a graph, the first thing we want to do is make a table. So I'm going to take x values and y values from that equation. My first x value would be 0. And you can pick any x value you want. If you want to pick 2.7942, that's fine. However, you have to do the math then. Mr. Curry picked 0 because 0 times 3 is quite easy. 0 times 3. All right, I'm just plugging this guy in over here. So we have y equals 3 times 0 minus 4. 3 times 0 is 0. Subtracting 4 gives us 0, -4. Once again, Mr. Curry would try to think of the easiest number he possibly could, which in this case would be 1. And I'd plug him in. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 minus 4 is -1. Let's do one more point just for fun, and let's do -1. Plug in a -1, we have -3 times, 3 times -1 is -3. -3 minus 4 is -7. These are 3 points. You never have to do 3 points. You only have to do 2, and your line will be defined. So once we are here, and we've taken our equation and made a table out of it, now we can make a graph. Because all those things are over here are points. 0, -4 is 0 over and 4 down. So like right here. 1, -1 would be 1 to the right and 1 down. Right there. And -1, -7 would be like way over here. But I have 2 points already, so I can go ahead and draw my line. And we have graphed from an equation. Yeah, woohoo! Last but not least, I wanted to go over a couple of algebraic ideas. So, rule number 1 is you do the same thing to both sides. But in this first case, we have this weird distribution thing here, right? We have a 3 in front of a parentheses. And what that basically means is that we have 3 of whatever's inside the parentheses. So this means we have 3 x minus 4s, right? We have an x minus 4, we have an x minus 4, we have an x minus 4, right? 3 x minus 4s. We would add them all together, right? Because that's how that works. If you have 3 groups, you're going to add them together. And when we do that, we see we have 1, 2, 3 x's, so that'd be 3x, and we have 1, 2, 3 -4s. 3 times -4 would be -12. So an easier way to do that than expanding it all the way out and then multiplying it would be to just distribute this 3 to both terms. When I say a term, that's like a thing. Math, that's a number or a variable. 3 times x would give us 3x, and 3 times -4 would give us -12. All right, I went over time. Sorry about that, but thank you guys for listening, and please return to the live classroom.